Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I sat down to put my makeup on and I started doing some of my skincare and I was like, I should be filming because there's some things that I wanted to try out today because today is going to be an 80-degree day and I'm like, I need an SPF in my life. I tested a whole bunch of foundation serums. I did the Healthy Glow. I did do a speed review on that. I also tested out the Flower Beauty Serum Foundation. And I went and returned those to Ulta because they were just so bad. They peeled on my face. I just did not have any good, anything with those at all. And when I went up to the counter, one of the girls recommended this one. It is the Tula Skincare Radiant Brightening Serum Skin Tint with an SPS. It has an SPF of 30. It's a UVA UVB protection, and this is supposed to be like a skin tint. And because Tula is a skincare line, I was recommended this one. And when I went back to go check out the skin tint, I also was recommended this, the Tula Skincare Brighten Up Smoothing Gel Primer. I used this in the Estee Lauder video as a primer for that, and I've used it a couple of times since then, and I decided that I am going to use it today just to see how it matches and how it works with this skin tint. And this is supposed to be a water-based blurring, cooling gel primer. And actually, I was just watching a video and noticed that NYX may have a dupe for this one that's $20 instead of $40. So I kind of intrigued by that. But I purchased this one because it was recommended to me as a smoothing primer, and the girl who recommended it, she was like, I use this with my Tula skin serum all the time, and okay, I thought, let's try it. So I've tried it a couple of times. I have noticed that when I have used it with the Estee Lauder Double Wear, my skin actually gets really, really oily, in certain places that I usually don't get oily. And that is supposed to be a mattifying foundation. And I end up being really oily at the end of the night, right around my nose. So let's see how this primer works with the actual Tula skin tint, and let's see what this is all about. It has a blend of prebiotics and probiotic extracts to help improve skin smoothness and maintain a natural skin balance. It also contains rainbow seaweed, which brightens and protects from damaging effects of blue light and pollution. Blue light is from your phone, so it is supposed to protect from that. It has ceramides and hyaluronic acid that helps moisturize and condition the skin barrier, and also has a niacinamide, which helps even out the skin tone and the look of skin tone, as well as collagen, which also helps improve the look of fine lines and wrinkles. Collagen is that missing ingredient, you lose collagen as you get older. So we're going to take, now that my face feels cooled and primed, I do like that effect of that, but we'll see how my skin reacts to this. This is supposed to be a skin tint serum. I did not put on my SPF serum. I just wanted to try this with the Tula primer. And actually right before I put on the Tula primer, I also put on this, which is a hyaluronic acid jelly primer from MUA, Makeup Academy. And so I have these two, and my face feels really grippy and really primed and ready for makeup. And the shade that I have is 06, which is a light, cool undertone. Is this going to be too dark? We're going to find out, but I'm going to use a beauty blender on, this is supposed to be a skin tint, a skin serum, so I'm expecting a lightweight coverage. I'm not expecting anything to be miraculous. It does have a seaweed smell to it, and I know it has seaweed in it, but just keep that in mind if you don't like that seaweedy smell. I kind of feel like I'm by the ocean right now and I smell seaweed. That's a little bit, you know, that smell you get when seaweed gets too hot, that it churns. That's kind of what it reminds me of. I am not a fan of that smell at all. I grew up by lakes and I always hated that smell because it just smelled awful. So that, it does have a little slight scent of that, but it's not anything I feel like I'm putting grass on my face. Yeah, it smells like grass. And I like mowing the grass, but I don't like smelling like grass. But my skin looks really, really dewy, and it's actually, so I'm putting on a second layer in my problem areas, and I'm actually not having any problems at all with it pilling or anything. So that is good. I did do a shade match in store. I looked at the display that they had and I was like, oh, I would definitely be this one. And she was like, oh no, you might be this one. And it was a little bit too light for me. I swear these people don't know how to shade match themselves in store. And so I did a little shade match on the back of my hand and it literally melted into my hand like butter. And I was like, I do have a little bit of a tan on my hand and it melted in really well, which means it's probably going to match my face really well because my hands and my face are the two things that see the sun the most. And usually if my hand is tan, my face is tan. Okay. This is after like a layer and a half. I used all of the product that I squeezed onto my palette here, and it's on. I don't see like any problems. I feel like it's really working well with the base that I have on, and it's not clinging to anything funny. It actually looks like really hydrated, very moist. It actually provides a pretty decent coverage for it being like a skin tint. Like I get a deal, like I'm getting a decent coverage with this. This is actually not bad. And it's actually more coverage than what I expected. Still feels really tacky, really dewy, so I am gonna set it down with my Lasting Fix from Maybelline. Sometimes with skin tints, I will do this and it just kind of helps everything like settle. I wish they made a concealer that has SPF in it because that would definitely help with like everything. Like the more SPF that you can get on your skin, the better. So I'm just going in with the Super Stay Activewear Concealer. Let's go in with a little bit more added coverage. And I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. If I remember right, this has like an SPF of 20 or 30. One of them does. Is it the... Oh, I'm sorry. So the Mineral Veil does not have an SPF, but the original from Bare Minerals does have an SPF of 15. So I'm actually going to layer that on top. Yes, I know it's going to give a little bit more coverage, but I need a little SPF with the way that the weather is supposed to be today. Like I don't want my skin to be damaged. So we're just lightly tapping this all on. I'm going to use it right here in the nose because, like I said, that Tula primer, whenever I use it, I have lately been feeling very oily in here, and I don't get that with any other primer. Like, if they could make face products, like all face products with SPF in them, like bronzer, blush, highlighter, with some like SPF in it, I think I would probably be the happiest camper in the world because we need SPF in the summertime, and you need it anywhere you can get it. I'm just using my Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. I'm feeling summery and I want to smell like a coconut today. For blush, we're going to use the Baked Blush from Essence. This is the Pure Nude one in Berry Cheeks. And it just brushes on so beautifully. And I want to see how it goes on top of this skin tint. So we're going to stay with Essence. We're going to use the Pure Nude Baked Highlighter. I think this is in, 10, be my highlight. So this is what the face is looking like with everything layered on top. We've got foundation. I mean, not foundation, but technically we do. We do have the Bare Minerals original with SPF 15. Technically, that's a mineral foundation, but it's loose, so it's very like lightly packed on. And then we also have bronzer, we have blush, we have highlights, we have a little bit of concealer. Now we're going to go in and spray with the Milani Sunscreen Make It Last. This has an SPF of 50. I love the concept of having an SPF, but I don't like the smell. It's horrible. And literally just don't open your mouth for like 20 minutes after you spray it because then you're just going to be tasting it all day. Like, you can actually reset your makeup throughout the day and add an SPF of 30 back into your makeup routine. Whereas like you can't reapply all of these like products that do have SPF in them that are underneath. So having that SPF of 30 is great. This is what the face is looking like. Ain't she pretty? And so far, let's just take a closer look. With things layered on top of it, it doesn't look that makeup-y at all. So what I'm looking for is the longevity of the makeup. Also, how I feel when I go outside. Like, is it protecting my skin? Yes, I know it has an SPF of only 30 in it, but the part of the reason why I purchased this is because it has an SPF of 30 in it. And then also, so longevity, how my skin feels. Do I feel like I'm being like skinned alive outside and getting a burn? We'll find out. And also how it wears down with all these products layered on top of it. We're going to be doing a lot of errand running today. We're going to be, you know, with the kids. So we're going to put it to that mom test again. We're going to see how it holds up to everyday life of a mom, of somebody who is going to be outside in 80-degree heat. Is this going to melt off my face, or is it going to really wear down nicely throughout the day? Is it going to play nice with some of the other product that I have on my face? Okay, so I wanted to give you guys a little update on the Tula Skin Tint. I sat under lights. It's now 12:15, technically in the afternoon, so it's been almost an hour since I did my like final, my, you know, this is my first look type of thing. I'm such a comic. And actually in this light, I'm looking at my eyeshadow and I actually kind of like it a lot more now. So I am doing like a full 3 looks 1 palette full video of the Cosmos palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. That's what this eyeshadow look is. So back to the foundation. I was just sitting under hot lights filming some videos for my YouTube. Go figure. And so that was about an hour ago. This is what the makeup is looking like in natural light. You know, it's a beautiful day outside. It's supposed to be 80 degrees. So we are gonna go venture to the grocery store. We're gonna see how this holds up. So far, I'm liking the way that it looks. Now on my phone, the quality is not as great because it's only an 8 megapixel front facing camera. I have an iPhone 11 Pro. So just to kind of give you guys a little info on like what I'm filming with so you can see what's going on. But overall, it is looking great. It's not settling into anything funny. I did notice like in here, don't know if this is the eyeshadow or what, but like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I have bags. I have bags. And that's probably the dark eyeshadow. So I tried fixing it a little bit. Also worth noting, as you guys can see, like my house through my glasses. And me, look, there's me in my glasses. So also worth noting if it gets any sunglass lines, because I will be wearing my sunglasses today. That's all my kids' toys. They're very well loved little kids. They have more toys than I ever had when I was a kid. Actually, I take that back because we had a whole room full of toys when I was a kid. McDonald's toys, you know, the 90s. So hydrating, it's 80 degrees. Let's get to it. Let's go grocery shopping. This is gonna be fun. All right, everyone, it's 2 o'clock. And I just had to blow my nose, so that's why I went. It's June and I'm having allergy problems like crazy, so I had to blow my nose. And I wanted to do a little check-in to show you guys like what happened, because it lifted really like a lot, as you can see here from blowing my nose. So it is not transfer proof, which I didn't think it was, but I wanted to give you guys a little update on it. And I did eat, so it's worn off a little bit around in here. Overall though, that's like the only places that I'm seeing so far. It survived my 80 degree, actually it's almost 90 degrees outside. It survived my outing for that. And I don't have, oh no wait, I do. I have little sunglass marks right there. So definitely like with wearing this, what I'm learning is I am going to need to either touch up or carry like a powder with me if I were wearing this like all day or something. It hasn't like melted off my face, but I think that's because I also have the powder on. So when I do my wear test tomorrow of just the just the Tula Skincare Skin Tint, we'll see how it melts off my face and if it does, because I feel like the powder is really what's holding everything like together. So we'll check in a little bit, but this is what it's looking like right now. I do have to go get Braxton off the bus in about an hour. And that means I will be standing out in this 90-degree heat. So I'm gonna go get some iced coffee. And if you guys could see, I have a swatch here because I did another video and I did go grocery shopping. So let's see what my makeup looks like after I have to stand outside for like 20 minutes waiting for the bus. All right, I wanted to give you guys a quick update because I still have like natural light where I can show you what's going on with my face. It's June and I'm sneezing. Like, what is going on? I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm very stuffy all of a sudden. Don't know what's going on with that. But I wanted to show you guys what's going on with my makeup right now. Obviously, like, I've been blowing my nose, so I am very, like, non-existent there. But I wanted to show you what's going on with my face makeup. It's about 8:30 at night right now, and I was noticing it was starting to break apart a lot around my chin, and I was also noticing that it's been rubbing off on my finger quite a bit. So that is a little bit bothersome because I mean, I've had this makeup on for like hours and hours and hours, and it's rubbing off. And so it's not 100%, like, we knew it wasn't going to be like 100% transfer proof, but I didn't expect to be able to rub off my makeup, you know, like, 9 hours after I put it on. I am also feeling oily in my T-zone and right in here. My nose, not so much, probably because I've been blowing it so much, so maybe it's a good thing I put on that Tula primer. But I was noticing I was really oily, like, right in here. And so I am just wondering if that Tula primer is not for my skin. I feel like every single time I wear it, maybe it's just not for my skin. So tomorrow when we do try, we're going to use the Power Gripping Primer with the Tula Skin Tint. We'll see how it works. But overall, it's 8:30 at night, so I've had this on for about 9 hours, and it's worn down quite a bit, and I've noticed that it started separating. So hopefully you guys can see like what's going on with my skin, especially like in this natural light. I have some artificial light from my dining room, but I have a lot of natural light as well. So hopefully you guys can see. Don't pay attention to the nose, but this is what's going on. I'm gonna give it a couple more hours, see how much more it breaks down or if it stays kind of the same, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to day 2. Just got out of the shower, slicked back my hair. It's in a little bun. We're doing wear test number 2 with the Tula Skincare Radiant Skin Brightening Serum Skin Tint Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 30. And as you guys could see from the wear test, I really feel like the Tula primer just really made me oily, and it did not help the makeup sit down very well. So we're actually trying wear test number 2 with the e.l.f. Power Gripping Primer. This Power Gripping Primer is like a staple of mine. It is $10, and I use it with every single foundation that I have done a foundation wear test with because I know how it performs. I know it doesn't make my skin feel oily or slicked off, and it really just helps my makeup like melt into my skin, and it also helps grip it and make it last a lot longer. And so I was looking up videos on this skin tint just as like a chit chat, whatever. I realized that this skin tint came out like last year. Didn't know it came out. I was watching some videos on it, and I was like, I didn't watch the full video. I just was scrolling, seeing like how long ago this actually came out. So it came out last year. I mean, it's about a year old, but nobody really talked about it. I feel like on the beauty space, I didn't see any people that I watched talk about it, but there are some videos out there. And I just have a decent amount, about the same amount that I put on last time. And we're going to smear this across my face. I think I'm going to do a cream product today, or close to it, with just a little bit of setting powder. And I actually have a like bronzy shimmery highlight powder that I brought up that I'm really excited to use. So it's going to give me like this sun-kissed glow on top of everything. Oh, that burns around my nose. Yes, it does. But I am noticing a significant difference between today's application and yesterday's application. It's obviously like gripping way, way better. And today the seaweed smell isn't getting to me because I'm so stuffed up. So, I mean, that's not a bad thing. At least I don't smell like grass today. I'm also trying out a new perfume. And I'm ADD today. I'm going to layer on some cream products. These are brand new to me. I should do a different video in this, but who cares? This is part of the wear test. And we have here the Essence Baby Got Bronze. This is a teeny tiny little bronzer stick for like $4. And I wanted to try it. So actually I'm going to try with the Beauty Blender. And what shade do I have? No idea. Don't know what shade I got. I don't know. But we're just going to layer some cream products on as if I was like getting myself ready for a day in the sun. Kind of subtle. We'll do. Oops. Oh, let's hope this blends out nicely. It's like we're testing out a foundation and Staci messed it up because Staci can't do her own makeup. We love talking about Staci in third person. Yes, we do. This is going to be the thumbnail. Right there. That's the thumbnail. Mark my words, that will be the thumbnail. All right, so that's just the Baby Got Bronze from Essence. And then we have the Baby Got Blush, also from Essence, 0.19 ounces. This was like $4. Look how pretty that is. Like, stop. That is super pretty. That's really pretty and it's really subtle, especially for like summertime makeup. So let's just pat this in, see how it looks. I like it. I'm also going to use the Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush Highlights. I like this one because it's kind of like a hybrid product. I think that's the best way to describe it, is that it's a hybrid product. It's not quite a blush, not quite a highlight. And on my skin tone, it looks kind of like a hybrid product. It does a little bit of sheen and shine, but then it also does a little bit of blushiness to it. And now we're going to use this product here. I got it for free, technically, from Clarity Cosmetics. All I had to pay was shipping. And it is their Summer Bronze Face and Body Highlight Powder. And I did a shorts video. And so this is a very, very dark shade for me. Like, I'll actually do a little, like, this is too dark to be considered a highlight for me. My skin tone is way, way, way too light to be able to use this as any type of highlighter on my face. But when you sheer it out, obviously, I won't do something like super pigmented, but it just gives me this like little nice bronzy glow. Again, it won't be like as pigmented as that because it's going to be used with a brush, and I'm just going to brush this all over my face. This is my alter ego number 2. It's just a powder, and I'm tapping in, and then we're going to tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to wash this over my face to give myself a nice bronzy look, or almost using this like a setting powder. We'll just put on a little bit of like one and done shadow, take a look at what my face is doing, and then we'll do a wear test to see how this wears with just like minimal makeup. My makeup looks really pretty. I look dewy. But there is a catch to that. I still feel like my face is wet, and I think I've been sitting here like playing with my eye makeup for like at least the last 10 minutes. And by now you would think that it would have like settled down a little bit, especially just putting that light dusting of powder over my face. So I don't like that. I kind of feel like it's gonna melt off my face, so I am gonna add some of my Micro Smooth baked powder from Sephora, and this is just gonna be like a light wash on the face because I don't know. I feel like it's not set down. I don't want it to move around, and I'm very picky about the fact that like if it's going to move around, I'm going to look like my face is melting off. And so far, I'm liking the way my skin looks. I'm not liking the way that it feels. I can tell I have makeup on, and when I wear a skin tint, I don't want to feel like I have makeup on. The whole point of having a skin tint is so that it feels like my skin can breathe and that it's not weighed down, it doesn't feel wet or tacky or sticky or anything like that. And right now I'm getting that feeling, and I don't get that feeling from a lot of other foundations that I have used, like the Maybelline Superstay Activewear foundation. That one I can't feel on my face at all. It just is so like airbrushed quality. And this, I feel damp, I feel wet. My face feels like it's going to melt off. Even under these studio lights, I've done the Maybelline test, did not feel that way. This one's a little bit different. Again, I feel like my face is gonna melt off. It is 12:23 in the afternoon, and I am sweating like a pig under these lights. It's supposed to be a little bit different of a day today. It's supposed to be about 75 degrees outside, so not hot, sticky, humid like yesterday. And I'm hoping that a different primer, and I know that the weather can affect your makeup as well, but we'll see how it works with just like certain things layered up. I do like the way it looks. I just don't like the way I feel right now. I just feel very like wet and sticky and tacky. Okay, here we are in my dining room. It has like the best natural light, as you can see. Like it's got some great natural light. And I I cleaned up all of Braxton's birthday stuff. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. So we just got done filming. I did not sit under hot lights for an hour filming other content. It's just a straight coming downstairs, showing you guys in natural light what this looks like. And it's really pretty in natural light. Again, it is starting to dry down, but I mean, I have been sitting there for like 20 minutes, I want to say, and it should have been dried down by now, and it's not. So that's driving me a little bit crazy because I just don't like tacky feeling like foundation at all. And so you guys can see this is in natural light. And I mean, it's glowy, it's dewy, it looks pretty, it has an SPF of 30, but at the end of the day, if I feel like my face is falling off constantly, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I do know how I feel about that, but let's see how it performs throughout the day. Let's see how it wears down. Let's see if the Ulta Beauty rep was right about this skin tint. All right. All right, y'all. So it is like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's been about almost 2 hours since we put the skin tint on, and I fell asleep because I did not sleep well last night. All of a sudden, I was like falling asleep watching some YouTube videos, go figure. And I just wanted to give you a quick like feel and update. It finally feels like it dried down to more of a powder finish. It's not like super tacky anymore. And let's just take a look at what's going on. Obviously, my nose is like totally like rubbed raw already because I've been blowing my nose like crazy. But we already know that it was not transfer proof. It still feels like tacky right underneath here. I don't like that because usually that means it's going to settle into fine lines. Is it doing it though? Is it settling into fine lines? Not that I can tell, and it might only be because it's so lightweight, but it still feels like super tacky underneath my eyes. My nose has completely rubbed off. It still feels kind of tacky and like wet on the rest of my face. At first, up here, it feels like powder dry, but you get to certain areas of my face and it feels like it's like still wet, like I just applied it. So I don't particularly like that. I did fall asleep on this side of my face, and can you tell that I fell asleep? It looks like some of it rubbed off weird right here. If you guys can see that. I did eat lunch. Accidentally took a nap. Um, and I fell asleep with like my hand on my face like this. So there's a little bit of, is there a handprint there? I don't know, but you can't really tell that I took a nap because it didn't really rub off funny. But like I said, it still feels tacky, like certain areas, not as tacky as what it did like when I first came downstairs. Up here it is powder dry, but like it's super tacky like in here and up. I don't like that at all. So we're about 2 hours in and it still feels like tacky, which is weird for me. Like I think that's really weird. Welcome to 11 o'clock at night. I've been wearing this for far too long. So let's just talk for a minute about this skin tint. So I am completely like rubbed off right in here because of blowing my nose. My skin has felt very like, even right now it still feels kind of like moist, like it didn't dry down to a powder finish, which I don't like that. And I know I mentioned that earlier. I was looking in the mirror and I did notice that basically it looks like I have no makeup on besides my eye makeup, so it did wear down better today than what it did yesterday, which is good. So I'm thinking that the primer does work well, but it still felt tacky, felt oily. I even feel a little bit oily like in here. Not as bad as what I did yesterday though, and it didn't separate on my skin like what it did yesterday. So I'm thinking it was definitely the primer that I used yesterday, which is really sad. But it looks like that primer is just a dud for my skin. But other than that, it still feels a little bit tacky, like on the sides of my cheeks. My forehead pretty much feels like it's powder. There may not even be any product left at this point. So, I mean, with it being such a light coverage, I wouldn't expect it to be, completely on my face at this point. But it did wear down a lot better today than what it did yesterday. So it looks like that the Tula primer is just not a work. It won't work for me. It didn't work with this. It didn't work for me. And overall, I did like the lightweight feel it gave, but because it felt sticky for like a majority of the day, I don't like that feeling at all. I would have rather it had like dried down and like seeped into my skin and not felt sticky, tacky, wet like I had first applied it at the beginning of the day. Like that, I just don't like it all. I'd rather it just seep in and my skin feel like refreshed, but not like sticky. So there's a difference. So overall, it's okay. It provides like a decent lightweight, almost medium coverage, but not quite there, depending on how I apply it. But I just don't think it layers well with a lot of other products. It doesn't do well with that Tula skin primer. So I would have to say, like, it's okay, but it's not like a ride or die for me. I don't think this is one that I'm going to be keeping either because I just don't like how it made my skin feel wet like all day.